And we are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Queer Wednesday Wisdom with Dr. Lulu. What's up, y'all? So, yes, I am outdoors today. I'm outside the library in my neighborhood. You should go check out your library in your neighborhood. But my name is Dr. Lulu. Welcome to another Wednesday afternoon. And today I have a fantastic guest all the way from Germany. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
My show is international. We had someone from India, then we had someone from the Philippines, from the UK, from Nigeria, and now
Mhm.
from Germany. You're the first one from Germany for sure.
Very
How are
good.
you
Fantastic. Thank you.
doing? Yeah.
It's a
I'm so
celebration now.
yes, yes, absolutely. I'm so excited. This is
Absolutely.
so much fun. So I want y'all to know that you can leave your comments. We will try to get to the questions if you have any. We're going to be
Mhm.
talking about how to create psychologically safe spaces for your queer co-workers, or maybe for you if you're the queer person, or maybe for
Perfect. Yes.
your employees if you're the boss.
Hmm.
My name is Dr. Lulu, and yes, I am queer as fuck. And yes, I have no fears about it. None. I'm very proudly bisexual, and I sit here as the mother of a transgender young adult who is also just as fearless, but I'm loud mouthed, so I could talk for the two of us. I am a pediatrician, been that for 32 years. Yes. So I've been a doctor
Amazing.
longer than most
Amazing.
of you were born, but we do not care. Okay. And hey, hi, Peter. I'm going to put that. Peter says, love you, Dr. Lulu. Hi, Peter. So we are talking about creating safe enough spaces for your queer employees, your queer co-workers. And let me tell you, maybe for you, because as far as I'm concerned, the world is gender queer. Yay!
Absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed.
Yes. And so today I am joined by Anita Prasad, all the way from Germany. So where are you in Germany? Because I've been to Germany twice. Where do you live
Hmm.
in Germany?
I'm based out of the south part of Germany and in Bavaria state called the largest city, Munich.
Wait, I went to Munich. No way. I went to King Ludwig's castles.
Where the Hitler's movement started.
Well, I went to King Ludwig's castle, the one that's got like gold,
Yes, yes.
all these gold statues. Oh my
Mhm.
God. Went through the
Fantastic.
garden. I went to freaking Munich in 86, I think, or something. And
Oh,
then I
that's a
went back.
long, long, long
It's a long
ago.
time ago. And then I went back in like 88. I went twice.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my God.
Amazing.
Hi, Peter. So we are going to be talking, and so I generally do not only have queer people on my show. I have queer people on my show. I have straight people on my show. I have any kind of person on my show. If you are an ally, you can come on my show. And even if you're a homophobe, I haven't met anyone yet, but hey, it's a free world. So let me know if you want to come on the show. Just say the word and you'll be on the show. Today, we're going to talk to a person who I have so much respect for. I watched your, I guess, YouTube live extravaganza the other day, and this person shared so much deep stuff. I learned so much. I learned a lot because I have a child who's transgender woman, and I try not to ask her too many questions, but you answer questions about hormones, about, oh my God, it was amazing. So y'all, if you have any questions today, we're not really talking about that, but I guess you could sneak some of them in and we'll be okay. So Anita, tell us who you are and why did you decide to come on this show?
Great, Dr. Lulu. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I'm born and brought up in India. I'm almost 50, half of the life completed. Celebrations for it. And
Yes.
yeah, last 3 years ago, I had so much of gender dysphoria that put me into the intensive care units
Oh
because
my
it started
God.
to conquer me completely.
Hmm.
And I had to have a very difficult time period to my coming out was very painful. It wasn't a very easy story.
I'll
Yes,
say.
yeah. And then once I'm out, there are other pains from the society, but still, trying to cope up and trying to work with it. So it's really amazing journey so far, I would say. And a lot of it, I had it from the community, which basically gave me that kind of a homophobia, transphobia, which they showed up. So this basically made me much more stronger, that you might have not come across with. So probably I come across with it on a daily basis, and this made me much more stronger, I would say, that I need to stand up on my own and try to give this back to the society, explain to them what exactly this is, educate these people. And even on LinkedIn, I share so much of articles. If you see Dr. Anita Prasad, there's so many articles that I share, and do get a lot of appreciations, and people read them. Yeah, they're quite unique, I would say. I
Let
don't
me
think
tell, so
anyone is
first of
doing
all,
this.
I know you said you're Indian, so we have that in common in the sense that we're both from, I guess at this point, I don't know if India is still considered third world, but I know Nigeria is considered shithole thanks to Tiny Dick syndrome, Donald J. Trump.
Yes.
So we're both from foreign lands. And then
Mhm.
you live in Germany, and then I obviously live in Texas. Could it get any better for me to live in Texas? What? But we're here and we're not going anywhere. Now, so what was it like uprooting yourself from India, going to Germany to live and to work and to earn a living? Did that have to do with your gender? And then we'll come back and then talk about what exactly is gender dysphoria, because I know there's a lot of people think it's only about your body, but apparently gender dysphoria is bigger than that. And you talked about
Yeah,
a little bit about.
pretty clearly. Let me walk you through step by step. You
Mhm.
see the plane which is flying at my back, the Airbus, Boeings, and so on.
Yes.
These brought me to Germany. Basically, I'm an engineer by
Yeah.
profession. I have
You're
my
very
PhD
cool.
also from California. I was in California, San Jose. So yeah, so I got it. Studied. I'm also an alumni from the London School of Economics and Political Science.
Wow.
Studied quite a lot, I would say. Had my
I'll say.
business spread across in US, Canada, UK, all around Europe. So I was pretty strong in that. And also a pilot by nature. I fly the planes.
Whoa.
Right now I don't, because of health issues, but otherwise I was very active. I also had my own plane to fly for sure. And yeah, this brought me to Germany. I was like a very elevated crowd. Also, I've seen different part of life. So when I entered
Yeah.
Germany, I went through this community, and then I understood. I employed these people. I grew up in this community, so I've seen various levels of people across. There's
Yes.
not one level that I've seen, and I've employed crowd across the world. So this is a
Mm.
big topic, I would say. That the experience what I come with is huge. And
Yes.
yeah, so when the gender dysphoria that itself, anyway, it was coming and going since my childhood. So I was not able to
Yes.
mark that very clearly. Yes, this is gender dysphoria, and I need to start addressing this. So this is the case. So normally, see, what I understand, the gender dysphoria comes in various levels. So some people, like for example, your own child, coming out was fantastic. Imagine, when I rewind, the third world country that you said, India
Mm.
was in the past. So the people were, even today, there is a big resistance, or
Yes.
I would say it's still considered, even though it is not a taboo according to Indian culture, many consider that this is something which they cannot accept. Okay, I'll tell
Yes.
you some reasons why does this happen.
Yeah.
But the gender dysphoria itself is something what someone experiences, that they are not in that same body, same mind, and it's a big discomfort.
Yeah.
And this discomfort, once someone gets it, you start suppressing it. And this, many, they don't even realize that they are in a serious stress, and because of the serious stress, you get high blood pressure, you lead into sugar issues, you are damaging
Diabetes,
your own
yes,
organs, various organs it's damaging. So there are so many negative points to this, that one has
yes,
to reckon. So in my case, also the same thing happened because I started pushing for almost 45 years before I
yeah,
came out,
yeah.
and finally it started to affect my liver and then the intestinal valve. So finally I had to admit saying that no, I'm just giving up. Come on, I just need to come out of it, and it had to be a transition story.
Oh,
It's a horrible situation. So one side you're going through a gender dysphoria topic, the other side is a hormonal replacement therapy. Third thing is your healing process for your own organs that has already started damage. So you can imagine I'm already in a mess.
and then
And
the fourth one is also just trying to survive the people around you. That's the thing. A lot of times when
exactly. And the
the world
society
is
is
so
causing much more stress and anxiety
even
in
more,
you. You
yes,
are
yeah,
going for
because
a
the world
fourth
is so.
treatment. You can imagine this. So this is basically this is not a simple life. I always say I'm a superhuman being.
Yeah. I mean, you should.
So
I
I
think all
wouldn't
of
admit
y'all
this.
are. I'm not gonna lie. I think all of you are. You're very resilient human beings. You're very brave. For those of you who do dare to share about who you really are,
Absolutely.
you're very brave people, because the world is so binary. Everything is made. Everything you're seeing based on your gender. That's just it. People, they might not say it, but they think it. When I walk into the room, because I look like a cisgendered woman, there's a different reaction to me than if a man walks in the room. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely.
We might be the
Absolutely.
same height, the same everything. We might be identical twins, but if
Yes.
it's a man, it's a different energy from the world. So I love how you said that people suppress it, because that makes a lot of people try to manage it. That's like, okay, I don't want anybody to know anything about me being transgender. And I learned that that's called managed dysphoria, where
Yes.
you
Yes.
go to the gym and bulk up your muscles. You want to work out. You want to do everything to make people never ever suspect that you're a different gender, because the
Absolutely.
world is so gendered, straight down the middle. You can't even be. And then my kid was telling me that she was saying she used a different way to describe it. She said, I think she said, I forgot what she said, something about cisgender now, that we try so much. She said, like, a woman would try her very best to act more feminine, just so that nobody can ever say, oh my God, are you sure you're a woman? For the cisgendered people. She says sometimes it's overwhelming, and that's true. Put on makeup, put your eyes, do your hair, just so you can look like a girl. So nobody's ever saying, oh,
Absolutely.
you know. Thank you so much for sharing that piece. And I don't know what Peter is talking about. I felt like a superhero lately. Okay, Peter, tell us exactly what you mean, because I don't know what you're drinking. So you basically got to the almost the highest level of your career as an engineer.
Yes.
So what happened with your health, and how did you end up in the ICU? Was it just
As I
stress?
said, this created a lot of stress, anxiety,
Mm.
and because of that, I had a very high blood pressure.
Oh
I
my
was medically unfit and going into the liver. It was eating my own organs, started to damage, right? So my liver, my intestinal valve, everything gone. I couldn't even eat one spoon of, let's say, mashed rice. That never went in. Can you imagine my condition?
So, but you didn't have a stroke. So thank God for that. Did you have a
No,
stroke?
so I have a tip that anyone experiences gender dysphoria, never ever leave that and push it away. That's a very dangerous thing. And second thing is that one other mistake which I did is try to live for others rather than living for
Mm-hmm.
my own self. Even though it was there, I was trying to please somebody and thinking in anticipation that the others will come and support me in the needy time.
Mm.
But today, let me tell you, after coming out, there is no one to support. That is the reality.
Wow. That is so important to recognize that we live for others.
Yes.
A lot of us live for others. And, I use the mask wearing as an example. We all wear masks. And at one point, you can't even recognize yourself because you're so busy trying to be what your mother wants, then be what your father wants, then be this one for your grandparents, and be this one for your spouse. I mean, this.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's one thing that I know. My kid, who is 24, she was like, "Mom, you know what? I'm just gonna live authentically, and whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen." So now,
Hmm.
but she said, "I've never been so happy as I am right now," and that was why I was like, "Wow, I had no idea." So tell us, are you because I heard you say that the other day. You said you're very, very happy. And this is so good because a lot of people think that people are faking it or people are, you know, lying about it. Nobody's gonna choose this.
See, this is not a choice.
Thank
This is
you.
not a choice by journey. This is something what is one comes with by birth, right? I just can't go and say that I'm going to wear some cloth that fascinates me and I'm going to be with it. So you really have to be a different piece of, let's say, by birth, you should have this kind of, issue in your genes. Then it can be supportive. Look at
Yeah,
me. Look at my face. I was like, 103 kilos. I was a businessman. And look at me now. I can compete with any women.
I love it. And you are so pretty, by the way. I guess, obviously, I don't know you in person, but I saw your picture on LinkedIn. I was like, there's no way that person is trans. She's so pretty. But Indians by nature, y'all, East Indians, you have
Yes.
beautiful, very striking features anyway to begin with. When I was growing up, I grew up with you probably know Amita Bachchan,
Yes. Yes.
so we all the Nigerian girls had a crush on Amita Bachchan. I was like, oh my God. We all because y'all, and then some people have a crush on Dramendra, some have a crush on Hema Malini. We just have all these crushes. I was like, y'all are very beautiful people anyway. So it
Yes.
wasn't going to be too
Yes.
hard.
Mhm.
Wow, I'm so proud of you. So good. So when you were the businessman, when you were the boss man, how did you interact with your workers? Did it come through that you were trans? Did it come through into your
No.
work that you were
When I
trans?
was a business person, I never ever realized this. As I said, this is only last 3 years. And when I was a business person, I had a normal characteristics. I
No,
had
no, no, no,
no.
no, no. Wait. But you said you were born that way. You've known since you were a child. So what do you mean you didn't recognize it?
See, what happens is the gender dysphoria. There are two different stages if you watch it very carefully.
Okay.
So basically, I can get this kind of a feeling. I can suppress it and say that I can fool myself. Try to fool
Mm.
myself.
Try to fit. That's the word.
Exactly. So I can try to fool myself looking at the society with a fear, right? There is a three different fear, if I can explain to you.
Sure.
One is attack, right? It can be verbal attack, it can be a physical attack. Second is a freeze,
Hmm.
right? And the third one is, you become naive. Let's say, oh, okay, it's so nice, and you speak to them so wonderfully, and then you try to escape out of the scene. So I
Hmm.
have seen these characteristics. So I'll tell you, it is not so easy. In the olden days, coming out is simply impossible because we are scared that we get thrown out of the house. Even today, for
Even
example,
today,
at
yes,
this age,
disowned.
yeah,
Homelessness is very, very common amongst transgender youth. Actually, 33% of homeless youth, or they use the word houseless youth, 33% of houseless youth, 33%
exactly,
of
exactly.
those who raise their hands, because the truth is there are more people who are never going to raise their hands for obvious reasons. It's
Exactly,
dangerous.
exactly,
But 33% of those who actually of houseless youth, 33% of them are actually LGBT. And of course,
exactly.
that also increases the other things like sex work and kidnapping and sex trafficking.
Exactly. So imagine when I had to come out beforehand. Today I'm almost like half the life. When I come out, I get thrown out.
Yeah.
If I had come out
Can you
earlier
imagine when you were
days,
younger?
this
Yeah.
is a fear, that you just go somewhere, and because of this, we try to push this, and this we can
Yes.
say that this is something called as gender crisis, not gender dysphoria, right?
Wow.
Unless until it gets into that kind of a pressure that no one cannot hold. Like for example, when I went into the clinical condition, that is the worst. That I had to say, now I cannot go anymore. I'm done.
Wow.
You understand the difference?
Yes, that is so. And I think probably, I don't know if you experience this or not, but I know with the youth, a lot of reasons that's why they die by suicide. A lot of times,
Exactly,
it's
exactly,
just like it's impossible
exactly.
to be any or
If
all
they
your
cannot come out, they
yeah
cannot
your
speak to anyone.
yes. And then
Yeah,
when you do, your parents disown you, your friends ridicule you, your boyfriend or your girlfriend breaks up with you, and you just have no humans by nature are creatures of connection. We need connection. We need friends. We need people.
exactly. So this is the situation that the world is facing today, and I know there's one trans woman who came to me, and then she asked my help, and she said there are children under the age group of 15 who came out as the transgenders in India, and you can guess the 200 are homeless today.
I'm not
So
surprised at
this
all.
is the situation that brings into prostitution. This brings into no education system.
Yes.
Amazing.
Sex
This is
work,
what we are
and,
creating a
and
society.
unfortunately, sex workers are already looked upon as like the lowest of the lowest of society. And then you find yourself having to do this because you can't walk in and get a real job because they're going to say, wait, what? They're going to make fun of you, or you have to change it. I mean,
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
huge.
Mm,
And then when you have sex work, then you're exposed to HIV, you're exposed to physical trauma. A lot of black trans women, as you know, they have a high rate of homicide
mhm.
because the the other men, black or white, who are on the DL, they
Yes.
have sex with them and then they want to kill them, and then they kill them
Yes.
because
Yes.
somebody got killed. Was it last week? This trans person was reported missing like the first day, and the next day they found that he was dead.
Mm,
Yes,
terrible.
it's terrible. So it's like they have like literally, it's like nowhere to go.
Absolutely agreed.
And welcome to the show, Low Key Mills. Thank you so much for joining us. Low Key is joining us from Oregon today and says connection is
I think I
vital.
know Loki. Yeah. Hi,
Hi,
Loki.
Loki. Says dropping in from Oregon. Oregon is such a beautiful place. And yes, absolutely, connection is vital. I mean,
Yes.
I don't care who you are, we all need connection. Now, as we get older, we may learn how to manage without it because we don't want to do anything superficial, but we all need connection. I mean, that is just
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so. How did you manage when it first started and it really got to the crisis point? I guess as a physician, I know some things people don't realize. That they say high blood pressure is a silent killer because a
Absolutely.
lot of times there's no symptoms.
Yes. Yes. This is the problem, and it is a huge topic. See, I have a big message to pass over to the families of all these transgender or the LGBTQIA plus, whatever you can the length that it can follow, that someone comes out and say that I'm a different let's say sexual identity today, and I'm not a normal heterosexual. So this kind of a kid is not having an abnormality, right? That's the first topic that the family has to understand. Second
Mhm.
is the family normally gets into a situation which is a trauma at the first place, and they also feel a sense of betrayal, right? they
Yes.
would they would never ever think that, okay, the kid has something to say, or they were somebody to me, or I was somebody to them, or whatever. So they forget everything, and they think that it is a betrayal. So once it is a betrayal that goes into once someone's mind, it starts to work so much in depth, Dr. Lulu, that
Mm.
once they go in depth, what happens is the sense of insecurity feeling crops in. So this family member is now not available with me anymore. Now where do I go? What do I do? You understand the problem?
Yes.
And they
Yes.
go out and they talk in the society, and they do conspiracy, they do whatever it takes. For example, this happens very commonly in Africa, or even in many other places. Why people get thrown out? So it's
Yes.
basically because the betrayal sense and the insecurity that you're running with, and not educating yourself, is a third main point that you are not coming out with. So this issue, when these things come in, it is a very hard time for the family member, and also for the same personality, the parents or the spouse, or it could be someone else, that it is so pathetic that they are going for a separation forever. They have to forget the relationships. This is such a
I am a
painful topic.
witness. Yes, I am a witness to that. My ex-husband blamed me left, right, and center, blame me for making our child gay, that I was too soft with the child. I was too, all of these things and I was like, well, what about the other two kids? I raised them the exact same way. Why didn't I make those ones gay? The ignorance is so deep. And look at what Look he's saying. Look, he's saying, look, all of my biological family has zero contact with me. Loki, thank you so much for sharing that
Yeah,
because and I think one of the things that Anita, one of the things I think you kind of touched on a little bit is the family members, because that's what happened with me. They make it, they make the child being transgender about them. They make it like, oh, me, you want to shame me. You
yes,
want to bring shame to my name.
exactly.
You want to disgrace me. You, me. They forget that no child is gonna choose, oh, I'll have I'll have I'll have gay with a side of fries and a large drink. Nobody does that.
No,
Nobody wants to be gay, not in today's freaking world
no,
where
no.
everyone is just like throwing the Bible at you and misinterpreting the freaking Bible, whatever bullshit, basically at this point.
Absolutely.
Misreading it, misinterpreting it. It's just it makes they make it about them. And then when you do that, you can't see your child. You see
Exactly.
this person, but you can't see the child. And then if you believe your ex, like I did for a minute, I was like, yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I was like, wait, how did I do that? How did I make the child? I can't do that. I can't make my toddler eat their spinach. How am I going to make the child? Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. See, whatever I'm sharing it with you is my observation and my experience. It is mine. Okay. I'm not copying and pasting from someone. So I'm just telling you my hard journey and experience, that the world can just simply copy paste it and see if this relationships can be held back. And second, and the most important message I will pass over is, please stop living in sake of the others and the
I love that.
society,
That's the
right?
best. That
And
is,
you are always in fear. Imagine
yes,
you go to school, you have a fear. You go
yes.
to some other place, you have a fear. You go to shopping, you have a fear. Oh, will my parents get me a chocolate or not? Imagine that is the kind of culture that we grow up our own kids. And I have to achieve this. That's a fear. You are creating nonsense in everyone. The whole structure is catastrophic, right? So
Yeah.
imagine, everything is tuned in a different direction. You can achieve something much better. And this is what I feel, that the society will have to sit back, think, how they're growing up their kids, and what sort of fear they're inducing in them, and also
Yes.
themselves, that they are damaging the future world. They could be much more productive. Why are you damaging it?
Yes.
And
But the
you're
thing,
only saying,
yeah,
I'm
but the thing,
capable of doing niche activity and I can't do anything else. Why are
yeah,
you deciding it?
yeah.
Who
I
are you
think
to decide this?
the thing about it is it starts in childhood. At least I can speak about Nigeria, where I'm from.
Hmm.
It starts in childhood, but in Nigeria, children are not even supposed to be seen or heard. Like, children are supposed to be hushed. They can't open their mouth and say anything. It's just a patriarchal, misogynistic society.
Yes.
And then if the child does something, they blame it on the mother, which is what my ex-husband did. And then now, like you said, sometimes the marriage goes south. In my case,
Yes.
we went our separate ways, not because of the child, but it just added to that. My ex-husband is very, very homophobic. But coming back to what you said about the children not living for other people, I think the only thing I'm going to say is when they're young, I mean, it's easy for you to say that now you're 48, 49, 50, but when you're 6 years old or 8 years old, it is hard for you don't want to be kicked out at 8.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You
And
want to
I
be
could
thinking about
see
safety.
many
Yeah, you
people
want to think about safety.
starving on the street, dying down, and this is the kind of culture that fear is created within me. And I
Yes.
always think that, oh, I should listen to my parents. And what can I do to impress now anyone else?
Ooh, that part. Let me tell you, I don't know if this happened to you, but my child was a straight A student, 5 time state spelling bee champion of the state of South Carolina, got a full scholarship to Stanford University, straight A across the board. You know what she said to me? She said, Mom, I would have given up all of those A's for you to just affirm me. She said, I was doing all of that so you could just see me. And that must have been very stressful. So parents need to just remember that your kids are going to try. Kids they want their parents to love them. They never want to disappoint their parents. They never want to let their parents down. So your child might do what my child did and just keep pretending until she got to college and she was like, okay, I'm in college now. And technically, there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Yeah.
So that was when she now started telling everybody about her gender because I had no idea that she had been living as non-binary throughout college. I had no idea.
Terrible. I think this as I said, the system is pathetic. We have to request everyone, please see how you can change your own self, how you can let others change,
And let
right?
others be themselves. Don't try to change
Absolutely,
anybody.
absolutely. Come out and be who you are, who you
Are
want to be. This is an open world. At least, I'm not talking about my rewinded life for almost like 40 years. Now I'm a little bit more fast forward, and I know my world. I traveled across all the continents on this planet. I have met with all sorts of people. I've dealt with businesses. And now the only thing which I can observe is everyone are people, they are human beings, they
yes,
all need love.
yes.
They all need love.
That's why, you know what, Prasad, Anita, that's why and I don't have it here, that's why I created my most recent journal, my self love journal, because I realized that a lot of us parents, again, I can usually speak on behalf of parents as a parent. Now, not all parents, but this parent, okay? I realized that what was really lacking was my own self acceptance.
Mhm.
That was what was lacking. And what is the root of self acceptance? Self love.
Yes.
So once I realized that I can start loving myself, I can start loving myself, accepting myself. If I'm too busy doing that, I
Yes.
won't have any time to
Yes.
judge Anita, to judge Peter, to judge Loki. No time because guess what? I'm too busy trying to fix me.
Absolutely. Absolutely agreed.
So, as we go into the last quarter of the show, Anita, thank you so much for coming and just sharing with us and just opening up your heart. And thank you so much to Peter and Loki and the other people watching us on LinkedIn. If you have any questions for the last quarter of the show, please share your questions, type them in the comment section, and we could come back after the show is over and answer the questions regardless. But I do have a question for you. How did you, knowing what you knew even before you came out, and I don't like using the word coming, but knowing what you knew even before you came out, how did you make sure that your place of work, your businesses that you ran, how did you make sure that those places were psychologically safe for your employees and your coworkers? And I know that some people don't know what is psychological safety, but psychological safety means it doesn't mean you can just say what you want to say and hurt somebody else, but it means that you can be emotionally available, you can be open about the conversation and not fear any negative repercussions as a result of that. How did you make that happen at your place of work? I'm not sure what Loki is saying yes to, but okay, yes, Loki. But this is interesting what Peter is saying. I'm going to put that on there. So Anita, how did you make sure that your place of work was safe?
Yeah, see, I'll tell you, when I was having my own company, right? I mean, before my coming out, I had already sold it, right? So I had almost like close to 1,000 employees based across, and in
What?
my duration, no one resigned. This was my way of working, and we engaged everyone as good partners. And I never ever had one complaint from anyone, and everybody used to respect. And even my customers, they used to stand up when I go in for a meeting. So this is
Oh
the kind of
wow,
respect I had, and
amazing.
that is the kind of work which we delivered. And very long ago, we had such a beautiful infrastructure in the IT related field, and that was like a fantastic topic that really no one had it, and the customers did really love it. And I didn't even ask one single employee, not one day, that why did you not go at 8:30 to the job, right? This is the way our home was running. It's my home. That
Oh
is the way
wow.
I used to run.
I love that you called them
End of the
partners.
day,
I
they
love
did
that you
not
called them
resign. I resigned. So this is a worst part of it, because I went through some sort of business challenges, and because of my innovation, and I had some patents and so on. So I had to go through some sort of challenges. So then I said, okay, let me give away my business and stand up on my own foot. So that's the best. So that means that you can imagine I can do very good HR too. So, extended from there on, I was consulting for robotics and other activities. And one of the company in Liechtenstein, they were implementing the DEI compliance, the diversity, equity, and inclusion compliance. So
yes.
I basically supported them to engage few bots to govern this kind of activity for their employees, that they are in a position to understand and work with it more properly, so that the discrimination at the workplaces do not exist, and their suppliers and the customers, most importantly, they follow certain guidelines no matter what it is. So the business has to be ethical. That's what I'm trying to say. So it
I
can't
love
be
it.
become, okay, it is meant for profit, I totally understand, but is
Yes.
this ethical too? This is my question to everybody. Are you running it properly? Are your policies, are your business plans and ideas with your customers and suppliers, are you all matching it together to run into what you are desiring? Otherwise it's a flop model, according to me.
Yes, and
Exactly.
that's basically so all the stakeholders, everybody. And
Hmm.
I just love that you called your employees partners, because people, employees, employers, companies, organizations must recognize that your greatest asset are your employees. You
Absolutely.
cannot, I don't care who you are. And if you have a history of, it's important that you said that no, you didn't have a turnover rate, which is so, one of the times when I used to, when I, one of the things I used to be proud of when I had my own private practice was I had 13 employees in two offices and nobody quit. Everybody wanted to work because you know why? Twice a year, I'll go to the Bahamas on vacation. I was like, if y'all want to come, let's go. So it was like, we just shut the office down for like 5 days. I'm like, I need my R&R. And then the girls
Absolutely.
were like, if you want to come, get your passport and let's go. But treating your employees like they are your kids, or maybe not your kids in this case, because parents disown their kids, but just like they're you, is the best formula. And
Absolutely.
that is why we're doing this show, so that people can take it back to their companies and their organizations and just learn how to treat people. So if you were going to give us three top tips for the queer employees specifically, just three or maybe five, whatever, but give us three top tips on how to handle your queer employees. And Peter, I said, ask us any questions. And Peter says, are you hiring? Peter, I swear to God, Peter, Peter, please take your ADHD medicine, okay, honey? Oh my God. But yeah, so we can get to that question later on. Wants to know if you work
Yes, yes, yes.
going.
After going through this kind of discussion, anybody would come back to you and myself, say that, I think we will get a lot of job applications from tomorrow.
Yes, 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 yes. Look at this. Peter says employees, he, her, they, we. I love that. Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can add
Yes,
anything more, them, and then you're missing a lot.
yes, yes. We are all humans. I love that. Very important point, Peter. Thank you so much. So, Peter, we'll come back and answer your question about if we're hiring. But for now, I just want Anita to take us home
See,
with three
I
top
will.
things that employers can do to create a more inclusive space. And I'm selecting the trans and LGBT and non-binary and gender non-conforming out of the lot because they are the ones under attack right now.
Worldwide.
Yes,
Worldwide, yes.
that's why. That's so
So,
if you hear me talking about queer folks, it's because they are under attack. I'm a black woman. Black women are under attack, but I'm not talking about my blackness. I'm not talking about my womanness. I'm talking about my queerness because that's what's under attack. So Anita, take it away.
yeah. So I'll tell you, the queer. I let me take it from the queer perspective. The queer could address this in a different direction. First of all, make sure that this organization that you're joining has the best practices. Number two, they understand what this queer language is. Number three, these companies are not doing rainbow washing.
That's a new one. What's rainbow washing? I never heard that before.
They have a washing machine. They parade queers. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's a big topic worldwide. Rainbow washing machine.
I'm gonna look it up because I've never heard that word
Please
before.
do that. So please, you can
No,
also
so
follow my post. I
but
have
one
written
thing,
about rainbow
yeah,
washing many times. You
but
can
you
read
have
that.
to remember that
Mhm.
doctors, physicians, they don't know diddly squat about anything outside of medicine. They don't. So I'm doing very well as as a physician. Most physicians, they know about their patients and that's it. So I've never even heard this rainbow washing before in my life. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
Yes, please. There's a washing machine. They put all these squares in it and then they wash.
I'm done.
So as simple as this, I can tell you.
So are they washing to to take out the rainbow nest? What are they?
Yes, I mean, basically, they want to impress the society, use the corporate social responsibility and funding, and some taxes to be saved, and so on. They play around a lot, so they go around everywhere. There are plenty of companies. I don't want to name them because there are a lot of blacklisted companies, big
Yeah.
names, big numbers. So we're not talking about those. Not interested in them, but in my view, see what my experience and engaging bots and machine learning and so on coming out with today, right? It's a very important subject that the corporate perspective, what they could do is to engage the right knowledge oriented people. Don't just write some rubbish articles and publish and you get into shame. So this is being done massively across all the corporates worldwide. Not to say this, I don't want to point this out. Number two, if you can do a corporate DEI auditing, please do so. If you are not capable of doing it, do not get into DEI at all. You don't need to parade a queer.
I love it. I love it so much. I know Peter here is getting all up in his feelings. Peter, I'm going to post that. Peter says that was rude of me because I said something about ADHD. And then he says, the next one, he says, a lot of people have been saying I should lately. Well, you know what, Peter? You just do you. That's one thing you can do. You can see the doctor. You don't have to see the doctor. But if you don't see the humor in that, I can't help you, Peter. But thank you so much, Anita. I love that. I love that you're talking about the things that companies need to do, because people have been talking about it, that many companies just put DEI on the stamp. They put the one black person or the one Indian person. That's
Yes.
the DI
Yes.
department. The one
You see the
person.
LinkedIn posters and pictures, and I never go to like them. I just say goodbye. This is not the way humanity works. And first of all, it's a human right violation, according to me. Simple. Just throw it in the garbage.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I didn't know anything about DEI until after this George Floyd. So now everybody's DEI, and then I look at the people that are the DEI people. They're white. They are white men. They are white cis men. They are white cis evangelical men. It's like, oh my God, where is the diversity? Even your hand has diversity. Even your hands
Absolutely.
is
Absolutely.
diverse. The thumb, the baby finger. But, and I'm not saying you must hire a black woman from Africa. I'm just saying let your DI department look like DI. And just putting one person there is not, it doesn't really, that's not it. It's not.
Dr. Lulu, I'll tell you. See, this is a piece of item, right?
Yeah.
A napkin, right? And this is something which has millions and millions of atoms and roaming around. It's a creation. So we are all creations. How can you come and say that you can be destroyed, or they have the power to destroy us? And this is what I fail to understand these people.
Yeah.
I fail to understand this world. How can you be so rude to go and alter this?
I know. I hate that, because I mean that's what's happening now. There was a congressman recently that said that all the LGBT people should be exterminated. I forgot the word. One of the pastors said that they should just shoot them, kill them. My question is, how is somebody minding their business? How is that bothering you?
Well, simply, I fail to understand this too. So
Yeah,
it's
just
basically, politicized. This is somebody was asking me, "Oh, you invented an airplane, and why did you not bring it to the world?" I said, "Airplane is always a topic which is highly political connected and political driven. You are not in that kind of a, let's say a pull. You are trying to push, so it never works, right? It is always need to be pulled by someone else.
I think the other thing about that is maybe once upon a time airplane was a political conversation. Today, being transgender is the only agenda.
Yes, that's right. Or
When
any
did this,
queer,
when did
any
this
queer.
happen? How did we get here? How did we get to the point where that's all we're talking about? It breaks my heart. So, but before we
Absolutely.
let you go, Anita, how can the people find you on social media? How can they follow you? And what is your like your social media handles,
Yes,
website if you have
I'm.
one, and things like that. And are you hiring? Because Peter wants to know if you're hiring. Peter wants to know if you're hiring. And let me see what else. There was some. Okay, this one. Peter says, "Are you hiring?" So let's answer
Yes.
that because I did ask them to ask
Peter,
that.
unfortunately, I am doing a queer campaign in India this year. So basically, I've given up my work and working towards a society inclusive society, which is We India campaign, and I'm busy in that presently. So I'm basically not focusing on my work this year. So I've taken a sort of retirement, and maybe an year break or two. So this is where I
Yeah.
am presently before I actually resume back into many of the activities. And certainly I would be looking at much more strength to build up and new kind of ideas. And because the world is also reshuffling with lots and lots of bots, plenty of new ideas, and people are reshuffling their jobs and movements. So this is actually creating a lot of trauma in the society. The demand for psychiatrists are going up. So it's
Yes.
strange situation.
And we
It's
don't
a
have enough
crazy world
psychiatrists. We
presently.
don't have.
So I'm just trying to realign into this matter soon, because I don't want to become a wrong business
Obsolete.
personality.
Yes.
That is the reason behind it. And second topic is, yes, I mean, this is very exciting to be in this brand new world and see that how we could start to create that kind of a difference, and also cross over that kind of a big wave coming ahead of us, from the political angle and the world
Yes.
problems and the global warming. So
Yeah.
where we are placed, God
I,
knows.
Anita, you mentioned that during your live the other day, you mentioned that you were going to do something in India. Can you tell
Mhm.
us a little bit about that before we run out of time? We have about 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, we India
What are
is
you
an
doing in India?
inclusivity campaign. So we are trying to spread the education that, against the homophobia or transphobia to all these people. We are trying to engage, for example, Amitabh Bachchan, Dharmendra, Hema Malini, exactly something like this.
Amita
And
Bachchan is going to be there. I'm going to be there.
yeah. So you told me that you want to come there, so please
Yes,
join.
I want to come. Listen, Hema Malini, Amita Bachchan, Dramendra, I am there.
Yeah.
Okay. When I was growing up, I used to watch Sita Urgita. Okay. That was like,
Yes, 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 yes.
yes. Oh my goodness. I'm
That's
going to
amazing.
come.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
goodness,
we are
Anita,
trying to
thank you
engage a lot of
so much.
famous personalities, and also travel across India almost like 12,000 kilometers or plus, to meet with various, set of people, and then trying to communicate with those people, and also do some charity initiatives, donate some funds to the homeless children and also to the schools to improvise. It's a real social cause. It's a very serious mission, and such kind of a mission is the biggest one so far the world has ever seen. And
That's
I'm
what you said. That's
requesting
what you
the
said.
whole world to support us to kick it up. At least start off in India, and then the similar things can be implemented anywhere else. So any sort of cooperations, sponsorships, and donations, or any sort of things, more than welcome, so that we can bring this kind of a difference. And the first time ever, we are trying to introduce all gender toilet system in the city
Yes.
center.
Gender neutral bathrooms. Listen,
Yes.
do you have a GoFundMe, or do you have a website we can start
Presently,
coming?
Dr. Lulu, I don't have any GoFundMe, but I have a a governmental organization
You have a non
which
okay
can receive the donations,
donations.
and they could, extend it over there. And my connection is LinkedIn, Dr. Anita Prasad, Dr. Anita Anita Prasad Prasad.
Yes.
And on Instagram, I'm there, Anita underscore Germany. So you can connect me. Also on Twitter, Dr. Anita Prasad, you will find me there. So all the places you have the same photograph, you can connect me there, and it's
Yes.
much more easier.
So LinkedIn and Twitter. Let me see. Is that correct? Dr. Anita Prasad
Yes,
on LinkedIn.
yes, absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
so I need y'all to please go follow Dr. Anita Prasad, and maybe you can come back later on and tell us the websites because I want to put the website for your nonprofit. You want to tell us now?
Yeah, it is called as www dot weindiapride.com. Very simple.
Okay, I got it. Let me know if this is correct.
Yes, exactly.
Fantastic.
weindiapride.com.
So, y'all, please go follow this human being that's doing things amazingly across the world. I definitely am going to be part of it. I'm coming to India in December. So, I don't know if you will have kickstarted by then, but if I need to come earlier, just let me know. And it looks like Peter wants to come as well. So, we're going to have
Please
a
join.
party.
Anyone you want to join, let me know, and then I will try to organize. July and August are the 2 months we're traveling across India to meet with these people. And
Oh,
anyone who are interested, just message me, update me, and even for the corporate sponsorship, your big time advertisements and your promotions are conquering the Indian market, entry into Indian market. We are the right set of people. We are there. Of course, we are not supporting the rainbow washing, but but we are more than happy to accommodate you, get you into the next level, for sure. And then we give you all sorts of support and the encouragement, including the people whom you can cooperate or whatever. Just feel free to connect on any of these so that we can handhold you and you can also handhold us. We can
yes.
make the world of difference.
A better place. Yes. So,
Absolutely, absolutely.
thank y'all so much. The show is called Queer Wednesday Wisdom. My name is Dr. Lulu, and yes, I'm a real doctor, so deal with it. I'm also a pediatrician and a parent coach. I work specifically with parents of queer kiddos. I help to create safe spaces at home where charity begins and at the workplace on LinkedIn. And of course, anywhere else where human beings are, people should feel safe enough to just be themselves. And that's what we're trying to do. Thank you so much, Dr. Anita. This was amazing. Thank you to Peter. Thank you to Loki. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. This was so amazing. There's so many comments. I really, truly appreciate all of
Amazing.
y'all. I'll see you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central. If I have a guest, I'll be here. If I don't have a guest, I'll see y'all later on. Don't forget to follow Dr. Anita. Go to weindiapride.com. Look around, donate some money. You never know whose life you might save. And on that note, Dr. Anita, did you want to say something, a final goodbyes before we leave today?
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. And thank you, Peter, Loki, and everyone who participated, supported their questions. And certainly, we will collaborate. More than happy to connect with you all anytime. And thank you, Dr. Lulu. You did a wonderful job.
So I'm going to speak, before I let you go, I'm going to speak a little bit of Hindi.
Yeah,
Ready?
please. Yes.
आपका सही है
हम अच्छा है.
अच्छा है all right I did it आपका सही है and अच्छा है अच्छा hai. I
Absolutely.
love it. I love it so much. Thank you so much for coming. I will see
More
you
than
in
welcome. More
India.
than welcome, Dr.
I
Lulu.
cannot wait to get a big hug from you when I see you in India. Thank you so much
Pleasure.
for coming. Keep up the good work. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for just teaching us and letting us know that the world can be a better place. All we need is love.
Absolutely.
All right, folks. See you all next week. Peace, love, and stars.